afternoon.
You got a jacket?
This is a meeting of the Planning and Zoning Commission. Today is November the 3rd of 2022, and I am calling this meeting to order. The first item that we have is roll call, please.
Yes, Mr. Chairman. Erasmo Villarreal.
Present.
Jorge Dominguez.
Present.
Mike Baron.
Present.
Jose Eduardo Garcia Jr. Johnny Narvaez. Yushin Huang. Larry Dovalina.
Here.
Daniela Salapaz.
Here.
Ana Villarreal. For the record, Mr. Chairman, you do have quorum.
Thank you. Can everybody please stand for the Pledge of Allegiance? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. The next item is the consideration of the approval of the minutes of October 20th, 2022. We have a motion and a second.
Before we make the motion, Mr. Chair,
Yeah,
just wanted to make an amendment to the minutes.
all right.
All right, I guess page 7
Uh-huh.
of the minutes, there was some discussion at the last meeting about distance requirements that the city mentioned on a particular SUP, and they're not in these minutes as far as that discussion.
Okay, well, they can make the correction.
So we can just postpone them, and then I can see if those minutes are correct for the next meeting. Maybe we
That's
can.
fine. We can postpone them too until they can be recorrected.
Thank you.
Okay, so motion to, you make the motion then?
Yeah, make a motion to postpone the minutes.
Second.
Second the motion.
All those in favor?
Aye.
All right.
Thank you.
Next item, citizens' comments. Do we have anybody signed up for citizens' comments?
No, sir, we do not.
All right. Next item is the public hearings and recommendation of an ordinance. This is amending the City of Laredo subdivision ordinance, chapter 11, section 2-3-1, entitled subdivision flats, and section 2-3.2, entitled subdivision flats and mill requirements, to reduce the number of physical paper plat reproductions submitted with applications for consideration for general master plans and subdivision flats, to require all applicants, for consideration of general plan, master plans, and subdivision plats include a 24-inch by 36-inch digital reproduction of the plat and include a georeference CAD file in a format which is compatible with the City of Laredo GIS software, providing that this ordinance shall be cumulative, providing for the severability clause, and providing for a publication and effective date. Yes, sir, can you highlight that?
Yes, Mr. Chairman. This is just a follow-up from the last meeting. We made the presentation just limiting or reducing the number of paper copies from 10 to 1, and also requiring a PDF of the plat, and lastly, the digital GIS file. Now, as you had instructed staff, we did reach out to the engineering community. We sent an email. We did receive some feedback. They are very excited. There were just some concerns about the GIS file, but we do assure them that we have staff available to help them out with any questions that they may have and to get that in. But we did reach out to them as instructed, so we did get some feedback.
Okay, great. Well, we don't have a quorum to continue.
But,
He got a phone call.
We can pause it.
yeah, we're gonna have to wait. We can take action, but you can continue with the presentation.
Okay, so I'll go back, and so the intent is to reduce the number of paper copies from 10 to 1, and then also to allow the engineer to submit a PDF of the plat, which will also help us when we're in preparation of the packet to make it a lot more legible so you can zoom in and out. And lastly, what we've been doing is overlaying the plats and master plans onto Google Earth. And by them sending us that digital file, it'll really help us put it in and help with the presentation as well as the analysis.
Perfect.
Okay, and the proposed, here's the highlights of the ordinance amendment.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, you do have quorum.
Okay, this is a public hearing. If anybody would like to speak in favor or against this proposal, in favor or against? All right, nobody wishing to speak for or against. What are the wishes of the commission?
So move to approve.
A motion to approve
Second.
and a second by Daniela. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
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 Those against? Motion carries. Next item is the preliminary consideration of the plat of Gator Point subdivision Phase 2. The intent is residential.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Martinez Land Development, engineer, Topside Civil Group. Proposed use is residential. The zoning for this development is B4 and R1A. Location view, aerial view, street view, post plat, staff comments, planning, traffic safety, and parks and leisure. Proposed motion.
All right.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Ricardo Villarreal with Topside Civil Group. I concur with all the comments. I would just like to add for the record, if the traffic comment can be dealt with at One Stop Shop and not, just add that note, so that we can deal with this 300-foot
Well,
block length.
all of these comments can be dealt with at the one-stop shop, okay? I mean, they're all part of the subdivision ordinance, so at that point in time, you can discuss it.
And I hate beating a dead horse here, but when we get to the One Stop Shop, they adhere to this comment.
Well, they
And
have to,
so,
they have to, it's a
so I
subdivision
just-
ordinance comment.
Yeah, so, and because it's approved at P and Z, it gives it a little more, backing that we have to do this, but, you know.
The P and Z really recommendation on this, Rick, as you know, it's in the ordinance.
Yeah.
If there's a variance that you wanna, address or something, then that's a different issue. But at this preliminary stage, I think it's just something that you gotta work with the staff to work out.
Okay, and I just think it's a misinterpretation of block length,
Okay.
I don't think we'd be able to
Well, I
develop.
think if that's as simple as that, then it's something that I think very easily can be resolved with staff.
All right.
Okay?
One
questions?
comment real quick.
Yes, sir.
Mr. Villarreal, I'm looking at the plat and I see that you're gonna have an access to, Gator Parkway Boulevard. But then on Street E, where is that going to?
Street E, and so we submitted a, master plan revision. So, this is part of I believe a 5-phase development. So this street's gonna go up north and tie into more residential up north.
But that's not existing.
It's not existing, no, sir. It's for
Right
the,
now?
it's for the future development.
So what happens right now that we have an excess of lots, an excess of 60 lots with only one entrance.
Well, 2 entrances. So the fire requires us to have that entrance. Plus, we're also gonna have an entrance off of Avenue B that's gonna connect to 359
I
and
know.
go through the commercial.
I know, but it's not connecting right now. So what we have, we're trying to approve, and correct me if I'm wrong, Mr. Chairman, we only have one entrance.
Well,
The other ones are gonna be in the future. We don't have, like, the one going to 359 is not going anywhere right now, unless we create an all-weather road there until we get the other development continued. Because then, that's not an entrance at all. It goes into nowhere.
And when we talk to fire department on this, the requirement is to have 2 ingress and egress points. If there are more than 30 lots, if it's in the master plan, usually I'll defer to Captain Dominguez on this one.
Yeah, Ruben Dominguez, Laredo Fire Department, with the Laredo Fire Department. Just for clarification, the code does have an exception. And it says if you have a future planned access point, that's acceptable for the development to continue. So they come in with the main entrance, and they're showing us that at some point, they're gonna provide a secondary exit that's acceptable by the code.
So you're good with it right now?
Yes, sir.
Okay,
We are.
not a problem. Thank you,
Anybody else?
Mr. Villarreal.
got a motion for approval
Second.
and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against? Motion carries. Thank you. Next item, preliminary consideration of the plat of Lot 1, Block 3, Port Laredo Industrial Park, Unit 3. The intent is industrial.
Yes, sir. For the record, applicant is Killam Ranch Properties, engineer, Mesquite Engineering. Proposed use, industrial. The zoning for this one-lot development is M2. Location view, aerial view, street view, proposed plat, staff comments, planning, additional staff comments, planning, traffic safety, proposed motion.
All right.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman and fellow commissioners. Justin Heather on behalf of Killen Ranch Properties, as well as Waseca on behalf of Killen Ranch Properties as well. I'd like to speak briefly on this. If I can, I might connect to the computer. Hopefully it'll make this easier. Okay.
They're letting me know that fortunately they wouldn't allow the connection. Do you have it on a pen drive or something? We could.
I do not have it on pen drive. I have it in hard copy.
We could do the hard copy if you like. No, we'll put it on the display here.
Okay, perfect.
Es que ya tienen un plan y el plan enseña un camino sordino, está pasado
You want to give the hard copy to
un
them?
camino y ellos ya tienen porque es un revision,
Ya.
pero te necesitan enseñar.
Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Again, Justin Heather, very briefly, we wanted to speak in support of this preliminary plat. First off, this is a master plan that was requested as part of the traffic and safety comments. And it shows the future development of the property, which hopefully will address some of the questions. We're happy to provide that electronically as well. In terms of the location of the property is here in the upper right corner. This road here is the existing Port Drive. One of the questions was respect to this intersection here. This is a railroad drive that does not exist, official road. Here on the left, there was a plat from 1990 that cut in railroad drive off of IH-35. So we want to answer some of the questions that have been posed by the staff. In terms of the site itself, shown previously here is the plat of the site itself with some topography. The site again is on a piece of property that is 39 acres. It's going to be a single user. It has an existing road as well as sewer and water stubbed out to the property. It is zoned for industrial or manufacturing use and has been zoned for a few years in that capacity. Earlier I referenced the prior plat. This is simply to show you the prior plat as it existed, as well as the cut-in for Railroad Drive here, which is that road across that would connect to those intersections to answer some of the questions that have been posed. The proposed use of this site will be by Lineage Logistics. It is a cold storage facility, something that here in Laredo would be very beneficial for us economically. It'll be approximately 350,000 square feet. It's going to result in $115 million in investment, the creation of over 100 jobs, as well as approximately 750 construction jobs across 20 subcontractor disciplines, which is obviously something that we would all appreciate. The overall number of trucks in and out daily is 100 in and 100 out, so approximately 200 a day. Spread out over the course of the day is less than 10 an hour, so we do not believe that it will have a substantial adverse impact on our traffic flows now. We do know that TxDOT has been working on widening I-35 and that there are some efforts already underway with respect to Carriers Drive as well as Uniroyal. And then ultimately, in the future, we cannot yet develop, due to sewer, the railroad drive. However, in the future, that does connect over to 35 as well. As I understand it, the city and Lineage have been working to finalize an incentive agreement that will be presented to the city council in the coming months, or the coming weeks. So in short, we're here to answer any questions, but we would request the approval of the preliminary plat, subject to any outstanding comments of the traffic safety or planning, with the rescission of the comments that would require us to defer approval of this preliminary plat. So I'm happy to answer any questions, and Mr. Secca can answer any questions with respect to the civil engineering side.
So you're gonna use the related plat to create access?
You know, the related plat will be a supplemental access in the future. Once Railroad Drive is completed in the future, it'll be another access onto I-35. At present, Port Drive is already there, and it goes up to Uniroyal as well as Carriers Drive and can access
And you
I-35.
don't think it's heavily congested now?
I do believe it's congested. I don't believe this would be, these number of trucks are going to adversely and increase that to a point that we should deny the plat at this point.
So at what point in time do you believe that the additional access will be done?
At this point,
In
the
a matter
development,
of time, if you were to project?
it'll be several years, and I think the same with respect to this development, where the construction is going to take a few years, and then the ramp up to the full 100 trucks in, 100 trucks out a day is going to take another year and a half to 2 years. So we're looking 3 or 4 years down the road before these trucks are coming in and out at full capacity.
And the crossing of the railroad track is at grade, right?
Yes, I believe so.
Correct.
Question?
It's, for the record, Hugo Seca, Killam Ranch Properties. It's important to note that this is a 24-hour operation,
Okay.
and those 100 in, 100 out will be spread out to the 24-hour period. So that's less than 9 trucks a day, per hour. So I don't think it's gonna be a huge impact to what the situation that we already have out there.
Any other questions?
Yeah, so you said you're currently in negotiations with the city as far as for the incentives of this development?
We are not, no.
Lineage.
Lineage is the company that's
will be the-
purchasing the property is already starting that negotiation. You know how far they're into that negotiation?
As I understand it, they're very close to the finalizing that and taking that before.
The water and sewer or what?
No, 380.
Oh, 380 on, okay, and then now, Mr. Secca, you mentioned this is a 24-hour operation, so the estimates that this company's doing is not necessarily all at one time, right? They're gonna be in and out of this,
No, they're gonna construct the facility. It's getting the business
right?
moving.
No, but once it's in place, do you foresee, like, how much traffic do they foresee?
That's the max.
Yeah,
200 trucks daily.
It is,
But throughout the
Throughout the
24
24 hours.
operation, yes.
Anybody else?
Real quick. Oh, go ahead.
No, no,
Yes,
go
sir.
ahead, go ahead.
Commissioner Dominguez.
Yes, Mr. Chairman, I'm aware that there's some money already approved for infrastructure for creating a better access to 35. And even though we might have an increase of traffic in that area at this particular time, I think it's in the best interest of the community to create jobs and bring the investors into that area. This, I'm not citing on a particular developer. I would do it for any development right now. The fact that we have that money coming in for infrastructure, that will create an easier way into 35 and away from the congested areas. So I would be inclined to request to close the public hearing and to approve the preliminary plat, based on the fact that the traffic is not gonna really impact. At night, there's no traffic on Mine Grove, so I think it would be a good position to approve it at this time.
So
That
that's
is
your
my
motion?
comment right there.
Is that your motion?
If you close that, yes, I will go ahead and make a motion to
We have
approve.
a motion, do we have a second?
second.
And a second. All right, comments? Yes, sir.
I just wanted to just read on the denial, I don't know if you read that, but it says, the last sentence, or the last part of it says, lastly, for the Planning and Zoning Commission meeting of April 15, 2021, regarding the Port Grande subdivision master plan, no additional phases to be permitted until the traffic impact analysis is approved by the Traffic Safety Department and to the Department of Transportation. We recommend the developer follow suit. That's coming, directive coming from P and Z
In 2021.
in 2021.
If I may address that, Mr. Chairman, real quick.
Go ahead.
Mr. Navarro, you are correct. That was actually brought before, and we made that comment, but things have changed. One of them is being that now we have that money that is gonna be for improvement on 35. Secondly, we might have a recession coming up where a lot of people are gonna lose their jobs. And these gentlemen are coming in and they're offering large investments on the more than $100 million that we cannot pass. We know that something's gonna happen with the economy, so the comments that we made, they change, and they change for the better. That's my comment, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you. Let me go ahead and ask you a question, Mr. Planning Director, before we continue. 10, 12 years ago, we were working on an interchange up in that area. Where are we at with that?
I do know that, no, TxDOT's not here. We asked TxDOT to be here so that they can talk about it, but I know that there's funding. There's funding that was provided. There is some interchange work that they're gonna be doing at mile marker 13, 15. Improvements.
Uniroad.
Uroil.
I think the
But
interchange
as
is
far
gonna
as
tie
when it's
into
gonna start.
The interchange is gonna tie
John
into
Ruthinger.
83.
I thought,
John Ruthinger is where they're proposing it, but the idea being that you don't have a time frame, because certainly that's gonna be a big, alleviation of this whole area, that interchange. And we know it's coming. I don't know if you guys are working directly with TxDOT, MPO, RMA, or anybody to push that project. That area's been congested for
Many-
over 12 years.
Many years.
I mean,
I
that's what,
wanna say something.
yes.
I have, tengo poco de haber entrado a esta comisión, pero sé que tenemos problemas de antes de más de 10 años. Y estos problemas, la mayor parte son de las vías, porque no hay salidas externas, ¿verdad? Y creo que falta información, falta unión en los departamentos. Tiene que haber interés de TxDOT, del MPO. O sea, yo no veo a nadie aquí de un MPO. Yo no veo a nadie del RMA. Yo no veo a nadie. Y esto, para que funcione y no podamos decirle un no a una inversión, ¿verdad? De esta magnitud que nos va a ayudar, es ponernos de acuerdo. ¿Para qué? Para que las cosas fluyan mejor. ¿Por qué? Porque viene una bola de nieve y nada más se viene otra y se le va agregando, si no le das una solución. Aquí yo creo que la solución es hacer más vías. No podemos parar algo que nos va a dejar algo productivo en Laredo, menos saliendo de una pandemia, menos que a lo mejor viene una recesión, pero sí yo propongo, no sé si estoy bien o estoy mal, de que debemos de haber una junta en donde todas las entidades podamos juntarnos y poder llegar a la mejora de todos, porque nosotros como queremos dar un consejo, se dio un consejo en el 2021, de donde nos estamos agarrando cuando ya pasó 2 años. Y efectivamente tienes planes de 10 años atrasados y quieres parar uno que viene en 1 año o 2. No, señor, hay que darle solución a las cosas. Entonces, mi versión es, claro, que estoy de acuerdo de aprobarlo, de cambiar el comentario del año pasado, pero sí tenemos que hacer algo ya. Nosotros como Comisión de Planeación, con Cabildo, con TxDOT, con todo, porque va en todo, en todo. Todos los developments a futuro y toda la gente que está aquí viene a eso, a que crezca Laredo. Y si no tenemos las vías, no puede crecer. Entonces, esa es mi aportación. Yo, honestamente, estoy a favor.
Thank you. All right. Thank you.
I think we're gonna pass the resolution or the approval. But I too feel that many of these developments are coming in and they're half-baked.
Así es.
They're not completely done. And yet we're having to approve them so we don't penalize the developers,
Claro.
but it's not ready. We got our backs to the wall
Así es.
and either we do or we don't. And some things gotta change.
We did have that discussion, we talked about it, about when is the timing right? What I can tell you is funding is there, TxDOT has come over to speak to us that funding is there. You know, construction takes a while.
You and I know how long TxDOT takes to make roads.
Understood.
We need to change the communication and the go do it.
Well, I mean, the communication's there, but the speed of how they do it, that's a whole
You go to
different.
TxDOT, you gotta do
process.
design, you've gotta do an environmental,
Environmental first.
then you've gotta let, and then you've gotta go to TxDOT board, and it's 2 or 3 years before you ever do anything.
What is the time frame? Do you know the time frame for this particular interchange? No?
What is your estimated time of completion of construction of the warehouse?
As we understand it, about 18 to 20 months for completion of the warehouse, and then they would
That
ramp
may
up
give
over the
you-
next 2
That
years.
gives some time
May
That
give
gives
you
them
some
time.
time to change.
to try to see, get some things done.
All right, just really quick, I'm sorry, Mr. Chair. Just, this should have been addressed in the master plan phase, you know, to try to bring in this roadway in, during that time, I guess, to include in the first phase of their development. But at the end of the day, I hope that the current property owner really takes a look at that need of that connectivity to 35.
Really, the whole issue here is, it's not so much the property owners right now, it's the state and the city.
And the city.
I mean, we can do every arterial that you want within that facility, but unless you have, you know, good access to 35, that is not impeded by a at-grade crossing.
It's an
And we
at-grade
only have
crossing.
one right now for the amount of traffic out there. That's the real key here. I think we've beat this enough. I'll call for who's in favor of this motion?
So there's a motion and a second.
Yeah. All those in favor?
All right.
Those against? Motion carries. Thank you all very much.
Thank you.
The next item is preliminary consideration of the plat of San Rafael subdivision phase 2. The intent is governmental.
Yes, sir. For the record, applicant is Killam Ranch Properties, engineer Mesquite Engineering, proposed use governmental, Webb County Health Center. The zoning for this one lot development is B4 and a portion is R1. Location view, aerial view, street view, proposed plat, staff comments planning, fire, traffic safety, proposed motion.
Okay? Yes, sir.
For the record, once again, Hugo Seca with Killam Development, Mesquite Engineering. We don't have any issues with the planning and fire comments. On the traffic comments, we spoke to the traffic department and they concurred that item 3, 4, and 5 be either deleted or strike out from the comments.
Which
Which
3, 4,
road
and
are you
5?
gonna access?
What's your entrance and exit to this facility?
Can you, actually,
I mean, I know there's a couple up there that are built, but I just don't know.
So you're saying from the planning comments?
The detention
Pero
center?
ese, no, from
No,
traffic.
the detention center,
Traffic.
acá cerca de Río Bravo, ¿no?
¿De cuál es?
it's, the location is just south of the modular.
Is it Camp Walker? Is it right by Camp Walker?
Just south.
Just south of Camp Walker?
Right
That's
next to
what
it.
it's called. It's a 20-acre tract that used
It's,
to be modular.
Oh, the modular construction housing that was there years ago?
Yes, yes.
Camp Walker.
It's Camp Walker. It's Camp Walker.
It's a National Guard incognito base.
It's a, no, it's a detention center for illegals. But-
It's before that.
Well,
The
no, no.
detention center and the other guys are soldiers.
Yeah, but it's all one, border security. Border security.
But you're right, that's where it is. Yeah.
So the entrance and exit then is gonna be what? You're gonna build an entrance and exit to the facility? Because there is one street up there, if I remember.
It's an unplatted street.
Yeah.
So we're gonna plat it with this plat.
But you already have an entrance and exit from
Yes,
TxDOT.
that is
Yeah,
correct.
yeah.
And we'll talk to TxDOT about, you know, the angle of the street and everything. So we'll address all those
And
issues.
this is gonna be in, I believe, if I'm not mistaken, this is for work, it's a health center.
This is
the
for
health-
Webb County as part of the agreements that Killam had with the city, the county, and the college when
Yeah, this is something that they had
That
wanted
there's-
to do. They're gonna do a health center up there.
yes.
Webb County,
They don't have a health department.
well, they're gonna go ahead. and
They're gonna
figure
have
something
a
out.
health center, yes, on 4 acres.
That's what they're doing up there. They're doing I was familiar with this project, because I'm the CAA, so I knew a lot of the projects coming in. But yeah, it's,
So you're requesting that those three items be deleted?
Was,
Which
planning
three?
able to talk to traffic about,
It's the-
about these three comments? And you're in agreement with that?
Which three? Porque no veo.
on the traffic.
The traffic impact analysis,
I have a question.
revised master plan.
We had a
3, 4, 5.
last minute
I have a
meeting with the
question.
traffic director, and he was okay to remove the three comments.
Okay with that?
Yes.
Do you have a letter from the county approving water and sewer to this location?
We have been talking to the county.
Do you
Yes,
have a letter?
they're aware of it. We already spoke to Luis Perez Garcia and the rest of them.
He runs their water department?
He's the
County
engineering department
engineer.
head, but yeah, we have been talking to them, yes. As a matter of fact, there's already an existing water line in front of this
I
property.
know the CCN, I know
No, pero
the whole
what I'm saying
story.
is, Webb County was the water and sewer over there. This is their facility.
No.
Okay?
Mr. Chair, I don't know if you heard me, but we did have a last minute conversation with the traffic director.
Yes, we did.
and
I
he was-
heard you.
Okay, he was okay to remove
Y
those three
que,
comments.
y que estaba de acuerdo.
Yes.
I so moved.
Where is the traffic director? Or somebody from traffic? I understand the city manager told everybody to show up here.
That's
Claro.
right.
Who else is missing? The city engineering department?
Todos.
Parks and
I want you
Recreation.
to go ahead and get together with the only one that shows up religiously is the utilities department, and I
Ahí
think
estamos, Mr. Arturo.
that directive, if I remember correctly, was.
En fire, en Dominguez, en Dominguez.
Ruben.
Legal's here too.
is also here.
And now legal, because we did request legal to show up, so, but we do have two departments that are missing.
I've never seen
Engineering.
Parks and Recreation come here to any meeting.
It's been a long time.
Ni parks, ni.
Yes, and Parks does have a new parks planner, so we'll get with her to get her.
Okay, we'll make sure that those other departments
I'm
show up.
concerned
Let 'em
because
know.
all you see is no comments submitted,
Así
so they
es.
didn't care.
So
Hard to say.
you
That
made a
was the
motion,
original reason.
Nobody's made a motion yet, so
No.
you did, I'm sorry, you have a
Second.
motion, do we have a second?
Second.
A second by Mr. Barron, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those against, motion carries, thank
So
you.
they're gonna be,
Next item is preliminary consideration of the replat of Lot 3A, Block 355, Western Division into lots 3A and 3B. Block 355, Western Division, the intent is residential.
For clarification, Mr. Chairman, on the last motion, that was to remove the three
I'm
comments.
sorry, it is with removing the three comments, yes.
Yes, that is correct. Yes, we have it.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is San Juana Almazan, engineer, Daniel Gomez Engineering. Proposed use is residential. The zoning for this two-lot development is R3. Location view. Aerial view. Street view. Proposed replat. Staff comments, planning. Additional staff comments, planning, and parks and leisure. Proposed motion.
All right, yes.
Daniel Gomez, the engineer for this project.
Can you get closer to the mic, please? In the middle, thank you.
I will be the comments, I know it's the recommendation tonight, but we're trying to seek clearance for this reflex.
Lot 355, question?
My name is Carol Sherwood. I'm Executive Director for Habitat for Humanity, and I'm here representing San Juana Almazan and our organization. I've distributed photos for you so you'll know what we're talking about. Over the past year and a half, Habitat for Humanity has been the only entity in the county repairing homes after a winter storm hit our community. Late April, we were advised that there was a lady who was living in a home. She was disabled, 73 years old, and she had a 49-year-old disabled son, and she had a roof issue, a hole in her roof. We sent an assessment team, and we discovered what you're seeing. I wish I could say that we haven't seen a lot of these kind of issues in our community over the last year and a half. We've seen probably 25 similar. But this particular lady was kind of stuck. There were lots of heirs to the property, and unfortunately, there were 3 houses there. Only one was occupied, and that's the one that's on the second page of your flyer or your pictures there. As you can tell, the roof wasn't the only problem. As we walked through the property, we discovered that we could smell gas, and there was a huge hole in a gas line at the back of the house next to the apartment complex next door. In addition to that, she had to sleep in the front section of the home because it had a wood ceiling, and she was sleeping in a recliner, and her disabled son was sleeping in a love seat. We want to help this particular family, but the lot is 8,640 square feet. She would never be able to maintain it, and so we will and have acquired the property in order to build a home for her and one other Habitat family. Around the neighborhood, you will see similar situations where lots have been split right down the middle, including on both sides and in the back of her house. So we're here tonight. We recognize that it doesn't meet your standards for planning and zoning. But I'm also here to kind of plead with you as a commission to start looking at solutions, because I know that we could help probably 10 other families if we can just divide properties and build new houses. The property will probably end up with tax values at close to $300,000 after we build 2 houses on this lot, once we can replat. So we're here as we are necessary, have to come to you. But we also want you to look at what's happening around our community and see if we can find some solutions. You know, it's very expensive to do what we've done. The houses have now been destroyed. As of today, all of the debris is taken off of this lot. The lady we found a good Samaritan who provided housing for them temporarily. And for the first time, she can breathe without help, without oxygen. And now she wants to learn to walk a little bit better. So, you know, I think what we can do for her is great. What you can do for our community by taking a look at this very serious issue, I think is important. And I'm hoping that we can help more families, not just this family. So that is our request tonight.
You acquired the lot, and so you give them fee simple the lot back, and then
That's traditionally what we would do,
how do they pay taxes in the future?
through a regular zero-interest mortgage. In her particular case, she'll probably have a mortgage of about $15,000.
And
Because
she has some form of income to be able to do that?
yes, she does.
Pues si tiene un niño malito, le
Sí,
ayudan
pero
también.
no es suficiente, hombre.
Yeah, we wouldn't be looking at it if she couldn't.
So-
Our model of homeownership requires a payback. And on the other, once we replat, on the other section, we plan to put a 1,200 square foot home. We're good at what we do, and we know that that particular family will probably pay about an $80,000 mortgage payment over 30 years. And included in their mortgage, we are the mortgage holders. We hold the liens, and we hold the escrows. And just this month, in fact, I just signed all the checks on behalf of our homeowners. We paid $292,000 in property taxes back to the 3 entities, whether it's school, Webb County, and of course, the city of Laredo.
So while you hold the mortgage, you pay the taxes as well?
For
not-
them.
Not them?
We receive the taxes on a monthly basis, and then when it comes time, we pay the taxes.
So if something happens to one of the individuals, do the remaining survivors still stay in the unit?
Yes, if they can. If they can't, and well, it depends on each case, of course.
Who makes that evaluation? You do or
Our
some?
board of directors.
Your
Our board of directors and the courts.
If I may, Mr. Chair, I've known Carol for a long time. Her heart's in the right place. She's built Habitat for Humanity, and she's done an excellent job. Thank you for everything that you do for Laredo. This property currently is an R3, okay? 2 houses can be built on this property right now. They can build it. The point, the problem that we have is that second home won't be rented. It's gonna be sold. That's the plan. So we're just trying to make this right in order so that we could create the lot that she needs to be able to sell it to somebody else. If we're just talking about the houses and she was just gonna build 2 houses, she could do it tomorrow. She doesn't even have to come here. She can get started. We're just working on the technicality of the lot that she wants to sell to get it to the point where it can sell without any cloud on the title. That's where we're at. With any cloud on the title?
Well, once it's platted, you know, it's a plat, and a plat carries. You know, so there won't be any cloud once it's platted.
What is the size of the 2 lots?
I think she said it was 8460.
No, the 2 lots will be like
8680.
34.5
I'm sorry, the whole
by
thing.
The whole thing is 8680 square
130
foot
something.
track.
So son como 4,000?
There's 69, one lot is 69 by 138, is that right? You're breaking that in half, so it's like 34 and a half
34 by
by
89.
one.
And you're adding 15 feet or something?
No, it's 69. Divide that by 2, it's about 34 or something.
34 by
5.
72.
5?
34, 5.
What is R1B's minimum lot width?
We can give you the dimension 30
It's 3,000, but it's for new
for
development
new
only.
development, correct?
Yeah, it wouldn't apply here.
About 30.
No, but they wouldn't be able to get an R1B zone change here?
No, because it's for new
It's only for new. Now, what about a variance? for
So
the-
that's what we were working on. So in order to go to the Board of Adjustments to get the variance, the applicant, it must have a denial that's right, that's current. So by doing that, she's able to go to Board of Adjustments to get the variance that she needs on the sides and on the
She needs lot width, she needs the lot area and lot width.
lot area and that's right, the size of the lot and the setbacks. So we would be going to Board of Adjustments so she can get that. And then, and.
Can the
so that's
commission
the-
do the
The
variance?
commission can give you the variance.
No, sir.
Why not?
No. Because the dimensional standards are a function of zoning, and the variance to the zoning standards are under the purview of the Board of Adjustment.
But not the lot.
The
They're coming in
code
for-
gives the
They're coming in
planning,
for a replat right now, so under the replat,
which they must meet the standards of the zone.
but under the replat, the commission can grant the variance on the size of the frontage.
No.
Therefore, that makes it a platted lot.
That is correct.
Yes.
The code does grant the Planning and Zoning Commission the authority to vary the front and rear yard setbacks during the platting process. Those are the only 2 zoning-related performance standards that they can have the authority to vary.
Well, that's what we're doing here.
No,
We're going
it's
through a
lot
replat.
area and
Lot
lot
area.
width,
Yeah.
not front and rear yard setback.
And that's under what? Under state law?
Under the Land Development Code.
What state law?
The state law
Under
is,
212.
the state law grants the Planning and Zoning Commission complete control over the plating, but the lot has to meet the zoning standards.
Which is a local,
Yes, sir.
not a state.
No.
The state requirement says that under the planning requirements, the commission can grant those variances as a plat.
That is correct.
I disagree.
And we, being a state, then it overrides
The
the.
state has the right, or you have the right at a local level to be stricter
enhance
than
it,
the
yeah.
state.
Which one, the,
24, in
And
section
that's
24.
where it lies.
the,
So if we were to approve this, they would still have to go to the Board of Adjustment.
if it's approved, they will not be.
Deny it.
They have to
yeah.
deny it, then they go to the BOA, and then we're good to go.
Okay, I mean, unless we defer to legal. Are you, Mr. Attorney,
He's-
what is
he's
your
looking up.
take on what we're talking about?
He's,
I'm currently looking at, trying to confirm
So
that
we can-
state law square
we
with
can
our
postpone,
ordinances,
let
but
them
I believe,
review.
Well, actually,
I believe
the,
staff's got it correct right now.
I,
You believe or you're sure?
I haven't been able to comb through all of chapter 212 right now, so at this point, I would say the staff's correct, but I mean, in order for me to confirm, I'd have to do more research.
We spoke to the applicant about this, and we explained the process
deny.
that we were
Gotta go to the
suggesting.
board.
How long does it take to go to BOA?
We've already started the process of the application process with the applicant, and we've already let them know about the
But
deadlines.
in
From the
time.
deadline to the meeting is a month.
Huh?
From the deadline to the meeting is, I want to say, 21 days? From the deadline of
So
submittal
what
of
is
the
the
application?
earliest that they're gonna be able to go to the Board of Adjustments?
Our next scheduled meeting.
I'd like to
The
make a
next
comment real
schedule?
quick, Mr. Chairman.
Let me just let's get him answered.
Go ahead.
Because it is a problem, and I've traveled all over the city, and I see it all the time, and we do have real poor housing stock in the city.
Mhm.
And what we want is like to help, not for them to,
That's what I'm saying, she can start the process of building. It's when she goes to sell the property is the issue.
okay.
But
What is your construction time?
My big problem right now, my biggest challenge is some of the funding is going to expire. We truly didn't expect to have to replat, have a problem with replatting. We sort of misunderstood, I guess, the initial conversation we had with planning. And so it's really caused us, I'm very
Time.
concerned.
Time.
I have until December 31st in one of the grants to begin construction, and I need to be 60% complete. So it's short. We've done it.
When is the next BOA?
It'll be the second Wednesday of next month.
December.
Of next month?
14th. December 14th.
Yeah.
Can you schedule a special meeting for them?
She's not gonna.
It's because she's got that deadline of the
She has a
31st.
deadline.
So, I mean, like, we need to have that BOA meeting like next week.
We have to send out notices.
Well, make some phone calls and stuff because her grant expires and that's the funding source to get these two things done. So we need to work with her.
But that's why I said, I started out by saying she can build.
She can start
So she
building.
can start building, so there's no stopping that.
Well, but again,
And the
on the
process can.
building issue, it becomes an issue. Will the BOA do the right thing or will they not do the right thing? And that's her dilemma.
She takes a risk.
Yeah, it's a big risk. That doesn't work.
I just want to make something
Yes,
real
sir, go
quick,
ahead.
Mr. Chairman. This is for legal. What we have before us, we're approving a replat with the dimensions of the lots. We don't even have to grant the variance because the replat is already in front of us. That's one item. If you look at the replat, the adjacent lots in the back, they have already been approved. So we have a precedent. We already have something that will motivate us to approve the plat as it is. So I feel with the legal department, based on the fact that we already have a previous split of the lot in the back, that grant us the right to approve
They're
the
lots of
replat.
record, the ones that were done.
Am I correct or am I wrong?
The ones that were split, they're lots of records, so they're.
I don't believe so, because I think our ordinances are giving the Board of Adjustment the sole authority to do lot size.
Right.
No lo
And,
pueden.
and I wouldn't feel comfortable approving something that is not meeting the requirements of the current zone. It's in violation.
Right,
Unless
yeah.
they go to the Board of Adjustment, get it cleared up, and we're good.
I believe that'd be the proper process under our ordinance.
No, I agree.
Si los del Board of Adjustment will help purchase.
Yeah. The only thing we can do then is,
Deny it.
no, we gotta, yeah.
Make a motion to deny the GO staff recommendation.
I'll second the
Second.
motion.
And there's a second. Before we take the vote,
We'll do everything in our power
can
to try.
you do a special meeting for them next week?
We'll look at the
Obviously, you
calendar
have
and
to
make sure.
poll the board, but I think you need to just tell them the issue, which is the funding mechanism is about to expire, we can't get that done immediately,
Claro.
okay? Thank you.
One pause, Mr. Chairman, I really need to wash my hands.
All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
All right, thank you, thank you. All right. We'll read the next item while the commissioner comes back. Preliminary consideration of a replat of lot 34 and 35, block 18, Santa Rita subdivision, unit 6A into lots 34A and 34B, lots 18, Santa Rita subdivision, unit 6A. The intent is to adjust property boundaries to existing residential tracts.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Bill Carter, engineer Armando Guerra. Proposed use residential. The intent of this replat is to adjust property boundaries of two existing residential tracts. The zoning for these two lots is R2. Location view, aerial view, street view, proposed street plat, staff comments, planning, proposed motion.
All right, let me ask you this. What is the adjustment on the lots? How much?
If you look at the drawing, you can see the fence line in the middle. It's on the, as platted, it's slightly to the right of the corner pin. In the replat,
I can't read those suckers, they're just too tiny for me.
I'm sorry, yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Okay. And that's why I was asking the question. I wish I could, really focus in on it. I can't. And that's why I was asking. I mean, so what we're doing here is we're adjusting the lot line to, is there an
center line.
encroachment or something, or what?
The house
knows
that's there
about
is
this?
twisted on the property.
Come on up, please.
Good evening, Mr. Chairman, members of the commission, Sergio Narvaez with Premier Engineering for the record. And, let me just. Yeah, our client is just adjust the property line here. Because original it was here, the line,
Uh-huh.
and now
What? How many feet are you moving it, or what?
No, bendito sea el
just
Señor.
5,
5 feet?
5, yeah.
And it's, why?
So,
Why?
Why?
Is there an
Because-
encroachment or what?
yes, they built the fence like this one in the corner.
Uh-huh.
But original, the plat was just a little bit,
So the
Offset.
property's gonna be sold and there's an encroachment you're trying to clear, is that
Yes.
what it is?
yes, so the client is now fixing the problem with the
By
replat.
moving the property line 5 feet, and that eliminates a problem, okay.
It stays with the fence.
Thank you very much. All right, what are the wishes of the commission? I have a motion and a second, all those in favor signify by saying aye.
All right.
Me gana.
Motion carries. Next item is consideration of an extension of the following final plats and final replats. Consideration of an extension of the final plat. Approval of the Moreno Minerales plat. The intent is industrial. The plat is to expire November 7th, 2022.
Yes, sir. For the record, the applicant is Elvira Moreno. Engineer is Pegua Consulting. Proposed use industrial. The zoning for this one lot development is M1. Expiration date, final approval granted on May 7th of 2020. Current expiration date is November 7th, 2022. If approved, new expiration is May 7th of 2023.
Okay.
Location view, aerial view, street view, a plat, proposed motion.
What are the wishes of the commission?
Motion to approve. the
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by saying aye. All those against, motion carries. Next item is consideration of the following final plats and final replats. We've got items 9A, B, C, D, E, F. I would take a motion to take them all as one.
Motion to approve.
We have one motion, second. All those in favor?
Aye.
Now we need a motion for approval.
Motion to approve.
Okay, motion to approve. Do we have a second over here?
Second.
Second. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Now we need a motion to table the election of officers due to the fact that we don't have everybody here.
Motion to table.
We have a motion and a second.
Mr. Chair, before we close, I did get some messages from some of the commissioners that aren't here, so I'd like to make a motion to excuse those members that are not present.
Well, first of all, we already had a motion on the table. We gotta finish.
Oh,
with
this,
the
yeah,
motion.
I got it.
All right?
Yeah.
So all those in favor?
Aye.
All right. Now, go ahead and make your motion.
Motion to excuse those members that are not present.
Second.
A motion and a second. All those in favor signify by
Aye.
saying aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carries. All right. And motion to adjourn. Thank you all very much.